Charlie Sears, this is Regan McCauley up on the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I hear you, Regan.
You better. I better hear you too, because holy moly, a race and a battle for the ages. I mean, throughout the whole race, we were seeing battles all over the place, and you were involved in plenty of them, but man, oh man, what a pro move that you made towards the end there to take the race lead and eventually hang on for the first annual Bangarang 120 win at the Monza circuit, and your first career win within the NASCAR series. And again, you were riding some momentum into this season as a rookie on the stock car side because, of course, you won the IndyCar/Dart Series championship, and through 11 rounds, of course, it's been a hell of a roller coaster for you so far, but now here after tonight you can finally lift the monkey off your shoulders and say that you have booked a ticket into the 5th annual Ross Cup playoffs, and you'll be safe for the next 3 weeks. Buddy, tell us everything.
Oh man, I'm a lot more emotional right now than I thought I would be getting a win here. It was coming, but I thought maybe next season. Like, I've learned a lot. Like, if you look at how I was in Daytona, our first race, I had no idea what I was doing. How is everyone so much faster than me? I've got folks in my ears saying, you got to stay within 0.2 of someone to, like, not lose them. And I'm, that's too close. I don't know what you're talking about. To be here, obviously it's the road course. You know, I think that I have some skill in a road course, but the competition is just insane on the road and oval side. Like you said, there were battles throughout the race. Everyone stayed clean. We didn't have many retirements. I think only a handful, and it was just an insane race. Like Corbin in that first stage, I pushed and I really wanted that second place. I should have settled for third there. Got off into I took too much brake too late going into the first Lesmo there, and got into first gear and just lit it up. And like, thankfully neither Corbin or I had too much damage off of that and was able to get sixth. Andy really fought for that win. In the second stage, I could not get past him. Nothing I could do. The only place I had any speed on him was Curva Grande, and I was not willing to throw it too wide into that King's Fair. So we, happily took a second there. And I thought it was going to be second coming out of this. I was planning to take a full set of tires after the second stage before this long run. I knew a fuel save wouldn't work, and seeing how I kind of got chopped in that first pit stop, I just realized, okay, maybe I need to not take tires. I'm only taking a splash of fuel for what we burned. Didn't take tires. That got me a great position coming out. Jordan got a fantastic run off the start. Got right up behind CD. We eventually got past CD. I just capitalized on Jordan's move into the first Lesmo and followed him right through. We were able to put some pace on CD. CD tried to cover on strategy and head into the pits, but we maintained that gap. And from there, my goal was to just stay behind Jordan and try and keep pressure on, like trying to force a mistake. I didn't think I could make a pass. I just wanted to see, can I take this home in second, and can I make it close, or can I, potentially force a mistake? But Jordan, fantastic behind the wheel, didn't make a mistake the whole time. That second to last lap, there was a lapped car that looked like they were coming back on track. Jordan lifted, I lifted as well, but heading down into the first Ascari, I sent it. It felt like my only opportunity, and I knew I'd regret it if I didn't send it. Jordan backed out and let me pull ahead a bit. I was able to put was a second and 0.2 gap on him. He closed that right up. He's got pace, so he closed that right up. But coming into the last lap, we were heading to the second Lesmo, and Jordan tried to send it inside. I saw him in the mirror, and there wasn't an opening. I closed the door, and then was just trying to ease it on home. I knew I had 3 turns and through Ascari, and then I had to take Parabolica fine. But I just an absolute wave of emotions, like crossing that finish line and hearing that I won the race. Like that's insane. I really didn't expect it. I have not been getting along with these cars. Y'all have seen me learn, I think, every lesson there is to learn in driving a stock car at a road course, at ovals, at short ovals, super speedways. I'm starting to get the hang of it, clearly. And, yeah, I hope there's no more penalties coming for me for not understanding the rules. They're out there. I just have not been able to get them in my head. But holy cow, I can't. This is insane. Like, to be in the playoffs, that was my goal. Thought I might be able to do it on points with just consistent finishes, but to take a win and like just solidify that with so few races left, it's just so exciting. I'm over the moon right now.
Yeah, you were saying you're hopefully going to get in on points, but now with this win, you're certainly going to make the points for the drivers that now don't have a win going into the next 3 races. You certainly make that playoff picture even more interesting.
I couldn't let Jordan just win them all, you know. I thought I might be about to let that happen, but that's racing. You see those moves, you take them. You know, I think Jordan. I don't want to speculate on what Jordan was thinking. I'm thankful for how it turned out. It was fantastic racing every single lap. There wasn't a single lap I wasn't, obviously glued to my seat, but what an exciting race.
For sure. And obviously talking about the decision to overcut Kalinian going into that last pit stop, obviously you waited a couple laps there, and then when you come out, he shoots by you, but you still remain like half a second behind him, and then that move to get by him for the race lead, and then later on he tries to get by you as well. May have done it just a little bit too early. Just kind of just talk about what was going through your mind through all of that, through the move you made, the move he tried to make. Like, what were your heart rates like?
Oh, man, I'm sure it was not – my doctor probably wouldn't be too happy about what my heart rate was going into that. The move, obviously, I made I didn't want to send it too hard. I knew I was on the inside there. Made that move a few times in practice with other folks on track. Made it a few times, practicing the whole track and like where can the car go. Practicing leading up to the race. So I'm thankful I put that time in and was able to know what the car was going to do heading into that corner and kind of cutting that corner. The main thing I was thinking is just don't lock the brakes. I don't want to take Jordan and myself out. That's not going to help anyone. And don't cut the corner. Like I get a slowdown there. That's not gonna help too much. But thankfully, not even a 1X through there. So seeing Jordan get a worse run through Ascari and being able to put that time on him was really exciting. And then there's 2 to go, and I see that there's a few cars up ahead. They pull aside and they see the battle coming up. So I'm really appreciative of everyone, driving eyes up and seeing what's going on and trying to stay out of the battle. I think everyone, I can't think of anyone in the series who would intentionally do anything like that, but it's always great to just have that taken away and you see someone kind of pull aside and you let the battle happen. So in that last lap, Jordan had a fantastic run on me. He was right beside me, or right behind me rather, through Curva Grande. I had a really slow run, and at that point, I was thinking about the move he pulled on CD earlier in the race to kind of take the inside in the first Lesmo. So I just took the center of the track. If he wanted to go inside, I wanted him to take the real inside, but he took the outside there. That gave me a worse run into the second Lesmo and gave Jordan a fantastic run. So he saw exactly what I was doing, knew how to capitalize on it, but these cars just don't quite if we were in the IR18, if we were in the IR01, it would have been an entirely different story with that kind of a move. But, we weren't even bumpers aligned heading into the second Lesmo with such a short run. So I could safely just kind of close that door as Jordan was trying to take the inside. I think he was just trying to show me that he wanted that area, and if anything, I could back out to try and avoid a wreck and who knows where we would have finished then. But felt safe, closed that door, and drove right away. Jordan then had a worse exit, so like I said, I knew it was clean. Just needed to slow it down a little to not wreck, get the last 4 corners out of the way, and drive across the line.
Absolutely. And Jordy has a question for you here. He goes, quote, I know there are different reference points between open wheel and NASCAR in terms of braking points and lines, but where was your comfort level with Monza coming into tonight? Was this one you had circled on your calendar as an opportunity to make something happen?
No, not at all. I thought I might be able to get a top 10 here when I saw it on the schedule, and honestly, I thought it was the oval at first. I didn't realize it was the road course here. And then when I saw that there weren't any chicanes, it was just okay. Like maybe a top 5 here, especially coming out of Sonoma. But Chicago was what I was really thinking. Okay, I can probably pull something off in Chicago if I can stay out of the wall. I love a street course. Obviously, in the Dart Series, I was a lap ahead of everyone else. There's something about street courses that just really, really sit well with me. This is the kind of course that doesn't necessarily sit well with me, but I've had 2 incredible finishes here. I got my only points in the Pro Series here, and now I've got my hopefully first win here in the CMSN NASCAR Series. So I'm really thankful, but I didn't expect to be able to do this well, especially with Jordan's pace. He is so incredibly fast, just everywhere we go. So before this race, even knowing where I was, I'm like, all right, second is what I'm fighting for. Maybe I can get, a top 5. There's a lot of other fast folks out there. CD, Corbin, just, gosh, there's so many folks. I can't. Like Andy, sitting right in front of me that whole second stage. There's so many fast folks. So top 5 felt possible if I didn't make a mistake. Obviously, I did make a mistake, but I was able to recover well enough on pit strategy. And then, a win was nowhere in my mind until I made that pass with 2 laps to go. There was no consideration of it at all. I'm like, I just want to put pressure. This is second place. And I think a lot of that was sort of self-survival. Like, I don't want to push myself too hard and then throw away a second place going for something more. I need the points, so let's go get points. A win like I am, it's probably why it was so emotional driving over the line. I didn't expect it. It's an awesome place to be.
I mean, those are the kind of moments that we love to have here within the Canadian E-Motorsports Network. Obviously, we want to have that intensity. We want to have that emotion. You certainly showed that off with absolute perfection here tonight. And one little note that I wanted to go off of, just judging by your results and statistics through the first 11 rounds heading into tonight, like you had qualified like so well for so many weeks, like. If I count here, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 weeks in a row, you qualified inside the top 10. You got a pole on an oval, but the finishes just weren't there. I mean, remember that lap 1 incident back in Nashville Super Speedway, the heartbreaking moment with like 14 laps to go at Iowa Speedway. Like, it just seemed like in those like Game 7 moments, those moments under pressure, the long runs, it wasn't really going in your favor. But then this time around, that stuff that usually went against you, you took advantage of that here tonight. And man, oh man, it just showed off with absolute perfection.
Yeah, thank you. It is tough looking back on like those incidents that have happened, right? I've had 2 poles on ovals. Like, I could not in a million years tell you that I'm going to buy the next gen stock car and then get on pole twice in the first 11 rounds. That's insane. So I'm very thankful for that. Like, it shows, how I was able to learn the car and adapt to it. But yeah, being able to convert it here, like, honestly, that mistake I made that last lap of the first stage, I thought that was it. Like, okay, I've already thrown it away. It's only the first stage. It's already over. Come on, like, what am I doing here? And apparently it was setting up to take this thing home on lap 34.
And now, with all that being said, who gets a thanks here for being able to come on out here every single Tuesday night and get the job done here within the Canadian Motorsports Network and the NASCAR Series powered by Cos Fried Chicken and Barbecue, and perhaps give some shout-outs to some of the guys here behind the scenes who have been giving their full support. I mean, it's a popular win for a. There's so many drivers here that have been congratulating you, and I imagine your partners will be absolutely thrilled to learn about this. If any are watching as well, too, they must have smiles on their faces. Just who gets a thanks? Who do you want to shout out for the first time?
Yeah. First and foremost, like my wife. She's very supportive of heading down on a Tuesday night and doing some racing. So very, very thankful for that. 499 guys, like, helping me out with the ovals where I just have no knowledge, no skill, and like able to like quickly within that week get on pace and be able to like be in those top 10 positions. Obviously I've got more to learn and, working to convert those. But very thankful for all of their advice, and we're, getting ready for the Majors 24 hours at Le Mans this weekend. So the fact that, they're not giving me too much grief for driving a NASCAR around Monza right now is great. And then there's just everyone in the CMSN series. Like, it is such a supportive series. Like, everyone is rooting for everyone else. Everyone is really excited at the end. Even when you're disappointed when something doesn't go your way, you're cheering for everyone else out there. And I don't think I've seen anyone be frustrated for more than a day. You wake up that next day and, it gets shaken off. So I'm really thankful for literally everyone. Andy's been a huge help. We chat a lot, and we help each other out a bit on just strategy, thoughts before the race. But it's been awesome just chatting with Andy. But really, like, there's not a single person I couldn't call out and say like has had a positive influence on my enjoyment, my involvement of this series. That's why I'm here. Like, if you told me 6 months ago, hey, you're going to be driving next gen NASCAR around any track, I don't care what track it is, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, I don't get along with these cars, but I'm learning to enjoy them, how the racing differs, able to bring that back to driving the cars I do enjoy with a ton of horsepower and none of the weight that these cars have. So it's been awesome. Really, really appreciative of everyone. And obviously you and Jordy, taking time out of your days to broadcast these races. Like, this is a team effort, even if it's an individual sport, and we're all kind of competing. So I'm really thankful for everyone.
And we're extremely thankful to have you and your partners with us here in the Canadian Motorsports Network NASCAR Series powered by Cos Fried Chicken and Barbecue for Season 5 on the iRacing platform. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the driver of the number 32 499 Racing Chevrolet, Charlie Sears, the winner of the first annual Bangarang 120 at the Monza circuit in Monza, Italy. He has booked his ticket into the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup playoffs, the 8th different winner through 12 rounds this season. Charlie, the monkey's off your back, off your shoulders, either way. Congratulations on the win. Go celebrate, and next 3 weeks, again, just try to maybe get some extra points, stage points and such. And I mean, too, I'm just going to say right now, there are 2 road courses in the playoffs, especially Watkins Glen being the eliminator in the first round. We're looking forward to seeing how you're going to play it all out coming up in the 5th annual Earl Ross Cup playoffs.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to it.